Good morning. It's Thursday, and in our tour through Matthew, and this week, as we've looked at God's faithfulness and what Jesus says about faithfulness in marriage, we we've arrived at the point where we're going to look at this morning the text that I will speak from on Sunday morning. The If you've been following these devotions for long, you've probably noticed by now that Thursday is usually the time when I put in the devotion the text for Sunday, or the main text if there's more than one. And that's the way it is today. So this is Matthew 19, verses 1 through 12. This is in a 3-chapter section of Matthew that after it's revealed again and again and again, but then sort of with some finality that Jesus really is the Messiah. There are no more questions about this in Matthew. At about that same time, Jesus reveals that his followers will be the church. That's the word that we use, the ecclesia, the gathering of followers, and so that then the next, as Matthew organizes the events and sayings of Jesus into this gospel, he takes these 3 chapters to tell us what Jesus said about the church, the gathered community of believers, and so this is just right in the middle of that. Okay, chapter 18 is finished. That was all kind of one sermon thing. Then Jesus goes somewhere else. And so that's where we are in the beginning of 19. When Jesus finished saying these things, the stuff about accountability, humility, forgiveness, all of that in chapter 18, when Jesus finished saying these things, he left Galilee and came to the area of Judea on the east side of the Jordan. Large crowds followed him, and he healed them. Some Pharisees came to him in order to test him. They said, "Does the law allow a man to divorce his wife for just any reason?" Jesus answered, "Haven't you read that at the beginning the Creator made them male and female? And God said, 'Because of this, a man should leave his father and mother, be joined together with his wife, and the two will be one flesh.' So they are no longer two, but one flesh. Therefore, humans must not pull apart what God has put together." The Pharisees said to him, "Then why did Moses command us to give a divorce certificate and divorce her?" Jesus replied, "Moses allowed you to divorce your wives because your hearts are unyielding. But it wasn't that way from the beginning. I say to you that whoever divorces his wife except for sexual unfaithfulness and marries another woman commits adultery." His disciples said to him, "If that's the way things are between a man and his wife, then it's better not to marry." And he replied, "Not everybody can accept this teaching, the not to marry and maybe the teaching before, but only those who've received the ability to accept it. For there are eunuchs who have been eunuchs from birth, and there are eunuchs who have been made eunuchs by other people, and there are eunuchs who have made themselves eunuchs because of the kingdom of heaven. Those who can accept it should accept it." My hunch is you have some questions, as do I, and our short form devotions are not the place to answer those questions. We're going to try and look at what this last piece means, right? What is this eunuch thing? It seems to be not what we traditionally. It seems to be more maybe than what we traditionally think of as eunuchs, and we'll try and address that a little, and we'll look at why the Pharisees can kind of try and pit Moses and Jesus together, and how that played out. That probably will be most of what we talk about on Sunday. And in the meantime, it will be good to ponder this, and if you have resources, feel free to look it up and see what you can learn on your own from what you have in front of you. So I'm gonna again. I don't. There's not a good song about eunuchs or about divorce or not divorce, and so I'm gonna sing a song from Sing the Journey that again speaks to God's character and God's faithfulness, and does so in a way uh, in a way that is described as family relationships. So this is like a mother who has borne us. Like a mother who has borne us, held us close in her delight, fed us freely from her body, God has called us into life. Like a father who has taught us, grasped our hand and been our guide, lifted us and healed our sorrows, God has walked with us in life. Though as children we have wandered, placed our trust in power and might, left behind our brothers, sisters, God still calls us into life. When we offer food and comfort, grasp our neighbor's hand in love, tread the path of peace and justice, God still walks with us in life. Amen.